My name is Carson. Welcome to Thrifty Garage, a channel where we do everyday repairs, how-tos, and reviews. And in today's video, we've got the Bobcat Mini Excavator out here on Naked Acres. We'll be helping Craig on his farm digging some water lines for the cows. Let's unload to get started. Getting some directions here, doing some contractor speak, definitely using lots of hand signals. And here we're trying to find that water line. This is the end of the line and we're not exactly sure where it's at, so just kind of digging a wide trench here, trying to be a little bit cautious not to damage the pipe. Here's a look at the line we'll be running over the next couple days. This is about an 1,800 foot section. This trench will run the whole length of this fence right here, all the way up the hill and to our point of connection to where the existing water is already at. We do have to go across this little creek bed, and there's some good sized boulders in there, so that'll be a little bit of an obstacle to go through. We want that deep enough to where the creek's not going to wash it out. Up here through the gate and up this hill. Still just kind of digging here, trying to find out where that's at. We thought there was a whole stick length of pipe, which is 20 feet long, so we kind of started at the tail end of that and dug down, 2-3 feet, kind of in a cross pattern. Couldn't really find anything, so we're just kind of moving here closer to where that we know the existing pipe is, where we've got a stub out there, and it's just trying to find the end of that pipe there. Again, just trying to gently caress the top of the surface there. If there is a pipe there, we don't just dig right through it. Just trying to be as gentle as we can. Pile of old tires here on the property. Needed to move out of the way here for this trench line. Oh, that's the end. That's cap. How's that?
Well, I don't see why we even need to use the excavator.
This is down a little bit deeper than we expected. It was about 3-4 feet down, and I think a lot of the reason for that was the frost freeze hydrant was right there, so just going down deeper so that it doesn't freeze. This is well below the frost level here, so this new trench will probably be 18 inches in depth instead of being 3-4 feet down. Now that we found our pipe, we can just start excavating and digging our trench, going our 12-inch bucket width. And this is coming out at 45, so we'll intentionally make it a 45 and then turn the corner there so we've got a straight run. Reduce as many fittings as possible and try and reduce 90s as well. Keep that flow going well. So this is really kind of Craig's project. I'm just there to help him out, just doing what he's telling me to do.
Yeah, I think you're about 18 inches too deep.
But if you want to learn more about this project, you can definitely check out the video on his channel where he talks more about what he's doing and why he's doing it, as far as the infrastructure and how everything works. But for what we've got in mind going today, we're just basically digging the full trench, getting it all trenched out. This is over the weekend, so that we're not using the machine on site for our landscape projects. This was actually filmed. This is the first big project we did with this machine. So after this project was done, we had about 25 hours on this machine. Picked it up with 3 or 4 hours, did a few small projects. But really, that first trenching bucket, we put a good 20 hours of this rocky soil in here. And those tooth buckets, the teeth are quickly wearing out on that. They got a lot of curve to it. They started out with the kind of a square shape, and now they've got a rounded shape. So we're breaking in the machine nice and good on this trenching project here. You can see there's some rock dust. Going down this hill is very rocky. Down in the bottomland it got a little bit softer, but some of these sections were just super rocky, and you just kind of had to scrape at the rocks in order to get them to pluck up. Most of the rocks weren't huge. Most of them were in the 4 to 6 inch size. A few, under foot size in there, but for the most part they were pretty small, but just kind of stuck together. The cameraman in here swapping stuff out. Craig's in here pulling out the rocks and digging out this trench, cleaning it out, getting ready for pipe. Passed off the baton and had Craig dig a section down to that fence there, and then I picked it up on the other side there. Here in a moment we'll have some cows harassing us a little bit. I guess we're in their turf and their territory, so I guess it's expected or well deserved. Got our cow inspectors on site here. Must have been pulling up some minerals. They were liking the soil. There was something in the soil there that they were licking up. Some sort of mineral they must have been deficient in, or tasted good or something like that. I'm not a cow person, so don't know everything about that. Scare the cows back, keep them from crossing this trench. A little bit nervous there with them so close, worried about them getting stuck in there, breaking a leg or something. But as we'll see here in a moment, they found their way across and didn't seem to have an issue at all. We've got an electric fence right here on the right hand side. It's hard to see, and we've got a white stake there that has the electric fence on it. coming out into the flat section of the property now. This is more of a level area, a little bit softer soil. When we get big floods, 100-year floods, this portion of the property floods, so it's got a little more silt in here, a lot less rocks and crappy soil. So this was pretty quick digging through here all the way up until the creek bed down here. When we cross the creek, we have to pull out some big rocks, and we also have to cross our trench to get to the other side. So as we approach the creek, we have to drop our grade down quite a bit. The trench is probably 4 or 5 feet deep, kind of along the banks, so that pipe could gradually drop below the low height of the creek and then back up the other side. We tried to go about a foot or two underneath the creek, so we didn't have any freeze issues in the creek or having any erosion problems in the future. So we already came down and pulled out a lot of these rocks. We were kind of just testing the machine out, making sure it was going to be able to lift those rocks out of the bottom of the creek bed. Because if it couldn't, we were either looking at going across the road there, which has quite a few rocks as well, or we were looking at going further upstream where there's not as much rocks in place to prevent erosion, and kind of digging across in the more section full of dirt. But this machine had lifted these rocks no problem. If you've seen our rock retaining wall project, our stone boulders, we placed much larger stones for that project, so definitely took care of these, no problem at all. And you can see here what we're digging up that slope, digging up our grade, and then we're digging back towards our other trench there, and then we'll have to cross our trench here with the machine in order to go to the other side and keep digging on the other side. Okay, we're pivoting across the trench there, and now we're out of here. We can kind of tip the yarn there and get a trench a little more cleaned up where we might have dropped in some stuff. Now we're picking up on the other side here. This was kind of a tipsy angle right here. Wasn't really the best spot to be in, but it would, without really cutting into this hillside, it was the only way to really do it. So the trench here is a little bit wider than necessary because we're kind of on an angle there, but it is the right depth, and we'll be able to lay pipe down there. So here we kind of gradually cross the road, again trying not to have any extra fittings, just doing a straight run at this pipe. So we're just gradually curving over here, and we're setting ourselves up to run right into this fence line that's through the middle of the fields, and run right down that main fence line so they can have their grazing paddocks and have water available wherever they need it. So that's the reason for crossing the road right here. Here comes the cows. So this is pretty much an all-day Saturday project to get to this point, and afterwards we passed off the baton again over to Craig, and he basically used the machine all day Sunday, trenching out this other section. So here you can see the whole length of this trench line going along that fence line, and here he's getting after it, getting it done, and moving towards that other trench to connect up. This is a perfect project for this Bobcat E35. It's not too deep to the point where it's not capable. It's totally capable of this type of work. Grunted through some of those tough sections, but really overall did pretty good. And here's a flyover of that trenching we did the day before, going across that creek bed and up the hill here. Past our cows, all the way up this hill and up to our point of connection here at the top of the hill. Water is definitely a vital resource, especially when you have land like this, animals like this, taking care of them. Rain does a pretty good job of keeping the grass growing, but the animals there need to have fresh sources of water. And that's a wrap on another project. Well, thanks for watching this Thrifty Garage video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one. Sunrise is going to be awesome. Trenching bucket. I've got a